Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit of freak folk up in this piece in the form of their pronghorn. Yeah, words are hard. This dude, words are very hard. A Bavarian Helles, European barley, and hops. Yeah, you can see there. Should have said that easier. This comes in a solid or a solid, whatever. Perky jerky reviews in the books with a very much kind of voice going out of tune here. 5% alcohol by volume. Yeah, and just about a month ago, actually less than a month ago, to be honest with you. And yeah, I love their art, man. It's kind of like just that wood etching style. And this kind of old deer head, which looks like it's a deer, but it doesn't look like a white-tailed deer. It looks like a different kind of deer. A little bit of ivy, a little bit of foliage kind of hanging over it. Just I dig that art design. Really do. Really do. And Freak Folk, very appreciative. This comes courtesy of my boy Vin. He was up New England way and picked some up and was lucky enough, or I was lucky enough for him to bestow some on me. So thank you very much, brother. So dig on the art design. There you go. As far as the beer goes, yeah, looks what you'd expect from a Helles. That rich golden glow, soft carbonation, index finger, little soapy edge with a nice kind of top to it. So it looks the part. Nice Helles. Well, let's see how this sucker sings, or at least smells. Not much there. I mean, you're talking about a low ABV Helles, Bavarian Helles. You're expecting a snappy hoppiness with a decent malt base. Sweeter, kind of slightly sweet, kind of like to me, it comes off like slightly crystal malty, but I think it's a combination. It's probably like a Vienna Pilsner malt kind of combo, but it has a subtle sweetness to it. Really not a big telltale hop presence here, at least on the aromatics. It's really just a malt forward, clean. That's the word we want to talk about here. Clean, crisp ferment. Smells like a lager. Looks like a lager. Let's see if it drinks like a lager. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, and really does fall suit in the taste. Except everything's just a little bit dialed up here. That nice kind of sweetness there I'll talk about in my nose are precursor to the perception of sweetness. Falls through in the taste. It's a little elevated from what you expect from a Helles, but it's not even getting close to being like overly sweet. But you get this little snappy bittering on the other side of things. Utilitarian, really just kind of doing its job there to counterbalance that sweetness that's on there. But it's there. And a traditional kind of lager kind of mouthfeel. It's that American crispy boy status, super lightness. There's a little bit of body to it. It's still very much in Lagerville as far as how it drinks. But it's honestly one of the more, even though I said there's a little bit extra to the sweetness and a little bit extra to hops, I don't think it's outside of what you typically expect from, a Bavarian house from a traditional brewer. This is very much their take, their facsimile of a Bavarian style house. It's not ultra Americanized. It's kind of a crazy hot profile going on. The malts here, the sweetness here doesn't get too crazy in any stretch. This is, I think, if you're talking about some of the more traditional houses out there, very much reminiscent of like a Rothausey kind of vibe to it. I think that's kind of one of the better kind of vibes you can get from a beer. So it just has all those traditional beats to it in a very ultra traditional way, which is very fun. So I got two Freak Folk beers from Vin. One was a hazy pale, and one was this. So you're talking about almost opposite ends of the spectrum as far as beers go. Spoiler alert: the hazy pale is one of the best ones I've had ever. And to have them kind of, or at least have Vinny give me one of each of those beers and have them be so starkly different, but equally as good on their own accord. That's what you love about good breweries, man. When they're not afraid to make world class haze, but also just bang out super well done Helles and lager and stuff like that. You just kind of just tip your hat and go, thank you. Thank you for existing and not just hyper focusing on one style. Nothing wrong with that. I love the breweries that dive into a specific style and stick to it, and that's what they do, and they do it really, really well. But it's super impressive when you see the Hills of the world or Fox Farms of the world or whatever. They can just run the gamut of beer styles, not just do them, but do them not just okay, but at an elite level. Yeah. The only thing I would say about this beer, if I'm going to sit here and nitpick, is assumptions, which is how much is a 4 pack of this Hellas? I don't know. Vin didn't tell me. I don't buy their stuff, so I want this at the 10 to maybe $12 to $13 price point. Is that what this cost? If it did, then I would buy this all day if I can get it. If as a boutique brewery, it ends up being a little bit more expensive, maybe not their fault because, you know, the margins are set by the people that sell them that aren't the brewery. I don't know. But that would be my only nitpick is that I know I can get this type of beer and this level of beer from some of the more traditional brewers, just where this kind of separates itself is that it's just really, really pricey. And again, like I said, I'm totally throwing out assumptions here because I don't know the case. But grand scheme of things, are you going to find a better Bavarian style Hellas out there? Maybe, but you're going to be lucky if you do. Just really to a T, just doing that uber traditional thing in a very tasty way. Yeah, I dig it. Mount Rushmore status, Bavarian Hellas. Um, yeah, worthy. Let's put it that way. Value and availability, that I don't know. For those that do, please chime in down below and leave you with if you like what, will you like this? If you like traditional Bavarian German style Hellas lager and things of the like, you'll love this end sentence. So there you go. Review in a butts. Hopefully enjoyed Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive podcasting stuff, and Freak Folk. What are your thoughts? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? What's your favorite beer? All that stuff down there. Hopefully enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying chuggers right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.